Hello, everybody. Welcome to the fourth hour. It's great to have you guys along. The faithful are already here. It's good to see all of you. Hope you had a terrific weekend. Um, let's take a look here at the man. My mind is running. I want to do this. I want to do this, and and then we get started, and it's gone. It's 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 absolutely gone. This is news actually since I've been off the air this morning. I wanted to share this. This is new this morning. The president banning offshore drilling. So this will, what he's trying to do is hamper Donald Trump. So his term expires in 2 weeks. So he's using his authority to protect offshore areas, and he's trying to make it more difficult for Donald Trump than to um, be able to place federal waters then back into development versus taking them out of development. So you can't do anything new there. Especially then as we're talking about drilling offshore. So that's the kind of development we're talking about. None of that kind of development then. So this is a very last minute decision by Biden, and he's in trying to sell it, saying this is not worth the risk as the climate crisis continues. Are those going to be his last words? Seriously, are we going to hear about the climate crisis all of the way out the door? I mean, this is just absolutely amazing. I think, but it's a little bit crazy. So that's the president banning offshore drilling on his way out the door. There was one other story this morning. I don't have a lot of news for you beyond what we talked about on the air this morning. I think there is a bit of a transition here between the Biden administration and what will be the Trump administration as we're kind of all waiting, I think, and a little bit. I'm waiting a bit more anxiously each day as the president takes these further steps on his way out the door, new executive orders that are going to be, very difficult for Donald Trump in some cases to undo, certainly without the action of Congress. He's going to need their help, I think. It's a little bit more troubling every day. One of the things I just don't have a taste for. It's a big story this morning, admittedly. It's a big story this morning. The Golden Globes, the best and the worst moments of the Golden Globes 2025. And honestly, does anybody care? I'm asking that very sincerely. I don't know where you stand. The Golden Globe Awards, I really, over the years, have just lost my enthusiasm, whether it's the Academy Awards, the Golden Globe Awards, take your pick. Take your pick. Award shows and all of that. So I didn't mention any of that on the show this morning. I did not mention it at all. Was that a mistake? Is that something that you would like to hear about? Melissa is saying, no, I do not care at all. See, and this is what I wonder. There's a lot of reasons for that. I used to have a lot of interest in it, and I still do in movies. But I must say that my interest in new material, things that are new, that are being produced now, movies that are out, has declined. I find is that just, and this is where, is that a symptom of just getting old or older? Or is that a symptom of there's just less and less that really is engaging? This stuff is the material's getting worse. There are a slew of bad stuff that gets made. And I watched some of the hype stuff, and it's hype, and you tune in and you go, what? I mean, you just left wondering what you just watched. I feel that way more and more, I guess, as I have gotten older. So Melissa is saying, maybe just a symptom of it getting old, not us being old. Well, I appreciate that. That's a nice perspective. Melissa, I appreciate that very much. Kind of the way I am feeling as well. Denise also doesn't care. No, I could care less about all of the award shows. Yeah, especially, is it because that they have become political? There's no question about that. Everything has become political. That is what now, and it seems odd to say this as a guy who works at sharing. Really, what I'm, excuse me, sorry about that. What I do on my show is try to share the news of the day, and it turns out to be mostly politics. It's mostly politics, the rather than actual events, or some of it is actual news, like the weather that's this winter weather that's dogging much of the country today. Fortunately, we got a lease on life from that. But for those of you, if you're like me and you don't like these major winter snowstorms, snowstorms are just not my jazz. I just don't get into them. At the same time, I know we need the precipitation and so on, but when it comes in a blast like that, so that stuff is certainly certainly relevant to a good number of people across the country. That to me is news. These are events that are, it's going to be affecting the commutes of a lot of people across the country when you've got nearly 40 states that are being impacted by that weather. So on. Those kinds of events are significant. And, the role of the media is to let you know about them, give you heads up and so on. I think also to share some of the stories of, people who, whether they're having problems or whether they are triumph over the weather, whatever those stories are, there's always great human stories to be told coming out of that. But award shows, seriously, it's like, oh yeah, the Academy Awards, yawn, the Golden Globes, yeah, nah, I just really kind of have that attitude when it comes to award shows. That's big news this morning. And I get out there, I got these, I go to freespoke.com. I've told you about freespoke.com before. Well, that's where you can see all stories as they're trending. And it will show you a story from multiple different outlets, okay? Whether you're looking for something a little, left, right, or right down the middle. It will show you which outlets you can go to get those stories. So Free Spoke is great. And I looked at that this morning. It's like, and you see some of this, the awards show and that. And I'm like, who does this trend with? Because it really just doesn't grip me. And it hasn't for a long time. I don't know that I could point to you. Is there a specific time when you just decided, yeah, done. I'm done with all that. Because I can't say it was at a certain time. It was just erosion over time where you just each year just got to be like more, what is this? I really am not, is there anything happening here that really interests me? And I think that's just happened more and more over the years. So I was curious if you're affected kind of in the same way. Denise also she's talking about, it's your job. And I understand this. The actors, the directors, all of that, it's their job. Absolutely. It's not necessarily my job. And yeah, absolutely right about that. What's Melissa saying here? People that I know in Southern California have parties at their homes for award shows. Not interested. Yeah. Denise says it was the first time that Meryl Streep went off on a political rant. Yeah, it started a long time ago. You remember George C. Scott and refused to participate in the Academy Awards. He won the Best Actor, I think, for Patton at the time. And it was him, Marlon Brando. Remember, Marlon Brando made it an issue. And so that's been in the making since I was young, where you had celebrities who were started to make it. This was their chance to be heard. I think it was George C. Scott had refused to attend the Academy Awards. He just thought it was refused to attend. Was Marlon Brando, who made it a big political issue, had the Native American woman who went out on stage, and it was, and I think ever since then, I don't know if you had to point to a specific point where the award show started their downward trajectory. Maybe that would have been it, but I just have no interest in those anymore. Also, I had an idea that I would love to engage with you guys. I'm so grateful for all of you who follow, whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook. And so we're going to start a new deal called You Ask, I'll Answer. Any question that you have of me, within reason, any any question, anything is fair game. So if there's something about what I do, if it's something about, I'm a big collector, it's my interests or whatever, what I do in my off time, if it's about my dog, you ask, I'll answer. So I thought that might be fun, especially on Facebook. So given the number of people that I have on Facebook, and those of you watching on Facebook, so we'll begin that. We're not, and I would love to do that, and I would do it also. I'll make it a regular part of the fourth hour. So you ask, and as questions come in, I'll take a question, we'll set it, I'll answer it, and we'll get it out there. So if you've got questions, I just love these conversations with you. It's a more intimate setting, and it's certainly a different kind of setting than what we have on the air each day. And I appreciate it. But you ask me any question, and I will answer it. So we'll start that now. So ask the question. If you want to do it in response to this video, absolutely do it here. Whether you're on Facebook, you want to ask the question there, absolutely do it there. Doesn't matter to me. You want to email it to me, do that. Greg.Belfrage at KELO.com is my email address. I forgot for a minute. It's like, this is how days are for me since the stroke. It's like, I just had that information. Where is it? So I thought that might be a little bit of fun, and it might also help you get to know me a little bit better. Also, I have just got to say thanks to those of you on Facebook. I have had such fun engaging with folks on Facebook. And primarily that's where I engage versus on YouTube. I appreciate YouTube. I enjoy YouTube, and it's certainly got its place, but where I really enjoy engaging with folks is on Facebook. So if you like what we do, Facebook is a great place for you to be. I know, again, some don't appreciate Facebook, don't want to have accounts on Facebook. I totally respect that. Absolutely respect that. But I do enjoy engaging with folks there. And just with the number of followers that I have on Facebook, that makes it, it's more compelling. So yesterday morning, one of the things that I did yesterday morning is I was going through my Facebook page and asked some fun questions, and folks were responding. I had asked a really simple question. Most of them are really simple. And what I enjoy about those is it gives me a chance to get to know you, right? Gives me a chance to get to know you better. So that's one of the reasons why I asked those questions is like, and folks I was asking, like, where would you like to travel in the world? If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you like to travel? And folks were sharing, and that was just fascinating to me. And I went through and I asked, okay, some just respond very briefly with the place. And so I would say, interesting. Why do you want to go there? Specifically, what would draw you there? And I just had some really terrific answers from folks on Facebook. You're going to find me doing that more often with you. I'll be digging into your answer and what you're saying in hopes of getting to know you better and also generating then more conversation, more reaction and response from other folks. So obviously that's the entire thing about social media is you being able to engage people, find things that they're interested in, and don't ever be afraid to let me know what things you're interested in or not interested in. I appreciate that as well. So you ask, I'll answer. That'll be a new feature. And again, I'll just do that as it comes up. As I start getting questions, I'll set them aside. I'll print them off. I'll make sure, and I will answer them here during the 4th hour. So I'll also push that a little bit during the radio show, but I plan to do that during the 4th hour. Answer your questions. This is the perfect setting for that. Letting you get to know me a little bit better as I get to know all of you guys a little bit better as well. Sean is asking a question already, and I will answer this briefly and in more detail later. Have you ever been to a Star Trek convention? The answer is yes. There was one in Sioux Falls a number of years ago. It was a small Star Trek group. They were just forming, and they had a convention, and they brought in actually Mark Leonard, who played Sarek. He played Spock's father in the original series, as well as into the movies. He played Sarek. And he was the nicest guy. He just was an incredible guy, I thought. I really enjoyed I had a chance to visit with him. There were a small group of us who had gathered around him. I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 of us. And we were all asking him questions. And he was just the most delightful guy. I just thought he was absolutely incredible. Also, Walter Koenig was there. Walter Koenig, he played Chekhov, Pavel Chekhov in the original series. Did not leave a good taste in my mouth. I didn't find him to be very likable, engaging. He was just, and that's all right. It's, I'm sure for some of them, appearing before fans probably gets to be old, I would think, for some of them. And at that point where it just becomes a moneymaker for them, I think it's probably time for them to find other means of income. You know what I mean? If you don't enjoy doing it, here's the thing about me and the radio show. I love the radio show. Why do I do this? Why do I do the 4th hour every day? Because I love it. I love engaging with all of you. When you lose that, and I'm worried about that. Will a day come where I just go, nah, just not, don't want to do it anymore. Just not interested. And some days I feel that way, but usually that's I'm in a funk or the news is exceptionally bad or whatever. But I never, ever feel that way. And it's always a little bit, to those stars, celebrities, that they're just doing it because that's their source of income. And so it's just a job. At that point, it's just a job. This is more than a job to me. And I hope that comes across on the radio show. It's more than a job to me. Engaging with you, getting to know you, interacting with you on Facebook or here during the 4th hour. I love this. It's the interaction with you that I most enjoy. And I'll be looking to do more throughout this year. That's one of my New Year's resolutions to myself, is that I would do more of those kinds of things as the year grinds on. So I'm going to leave it there for today. But hold on a second. What is Melissa saying? I was surprised that Walter came because he has a reputation for not being nice to people. But he might have been nervous too. Yep, he was doing it for the money. Talking about Walter Koenig. Yeah, and I appreciate your questions. I'm going to take note of these questions, and I promise to answer them later. So you ask, I'll answer. It'll be a new regular feature. And again, I will answer those questions during the fourth hour, and it depends. I won't say we'll do it weekly. I won't say we'll do it daily. We'll do it as questions come in, and I very much appreciate it. So let's leave it there for today. I'll let you go and enjoy your Monday. Thank you, my friend, so much for being here. If you would, hit that like button before you leave. And I'll say so long until tomorrow. Hope to see you again then. You take care today.